This is the start of something new. This is the start of season 2. This is episode 1, and welcome back to Last Week in Esports. I'm your host, Trainer Jared TV. We've got plenty to cover this week. We had Halo happening in Fort Worth. We had some Valorant drama, tons of Rocket League Rostermania, and even more. So without further ado, let's dive right into it.
Baker, what was that?
Cloud9 are your E-League Major Champions!
This is Rocket League!
Well, Rocket League Rostermania has begun, and begun it has. As is every year, the offseason of Rocket League goes unbelievably crazy, more than any other esport, I would argue. Everything is up in the air and falling apart. And so, it's so much that I'm going to read you a brief list. This is of like the biggest highlights, in my opinion. I'm going to read you those, and there's still plenty more, and there's more coming out every day. So without further ado, OpTic releases their roster, PSG Tundra release roster, Luna Galaxy release roster, Era release roster, FaZe release First Killer, V1 release Calm and their coach Fireburner, Falcons release O'Khaled and their coach Nick, Solar release Chaussette and Fairy Peak, Crew releases Brad, Moist releases Cash, Quadrant releases Casio, and G1 releases Ole. I don't know if that's enough for you, but there is tons more out there amongst other drama throughout the scene. Rocket League offseason always goes crazy. This one is living up to expectations. As I said in the intro, Halo is back, and we had the HCS in Fort Worth this weekend, and it was probably the only good event in Fort Worth considering Texas Christian lost to Colorado, but we'll jump back to esports real quick. OpTic Gaming come out of nowhere, really get back in the swing of things, and end up taking the championship home. They make it to the grand finals. Space Station also meets them there from lowers. Space Station gets the bracket reset. Then OpTic comes in clutch, takes game 7 in the bracket reset to win it all. Space Station go out second, coming close yet again. But really and truly, we've got to have a conversation about if Formal is one of the greatest video game players of all time. Got it done in Call of Duty, now continues to impress in Halo. Man is truly one of the greats. Halo is also going to be returning next month. They have the World Championship that will be taking place in Seattle in about a month and a week. So very excited for that. Going to be the best teams in the world, obviously, on the stage competing for a prize pool of, I believe, $1 million. We'll be watching that, and we're eagerly awaiting the hopefully great production that has come to be known with the HCS. Surprise, surprise, the LEC is still not finished. I am tired of talking about them every week. I have lost complete faith in the entire region, and I think they've pissed off their fan base. But let me go ahead and at least brief you on what has happened. We had 2 matches this week. Unbelievable, I know. We had 2 matches. We had Fnatic take down Team BDS and G2 take down Mad Lions. And now we have G2 waiting patiently in the grand finals for the winner of Fnatic and Mad Lions. I'm sure everyone else agrees. It's time to wrap up. The LEC, please take notes. Please, everyone hates this. You've been having your finals for 4 weeks now. Wrap it up. Okay, this should be 2 weeks tops. It's okay. EU's only going to have 3 weeks to prepare for Worlds. No biggie. I'm sure they're very excited about the format as well. Typically here, I would jump into the Let 'Em Cook segment of the show, but we're going to talk about something a little bit more serious this week, and that is the Guard. The Guard is a decently sized organization. Okay, they're an esports org, decently sized, have had some success throughout some esports, but over the last year have been, in the news for not great reasons. Firing a bunch of their staff, not paying people, it's all over. But we've got a really, really, really big one this week. Riot came out and announced that after several months and rounds of communication with the Guard, the organization did not meet the deadline to agree to participate in VCT Americas. Because of that, the Guard is not going to be playing in 2024 VCT, something they have earned. They won their league. They're supposed to be promoted. And because of some business decisions, the guard is, going to basically not be allowed to play. You got to feel for the players. Now, thankfully, Riot did have a further discussion. They saw the backlash from the community, and they really, I think, finally understood what's really going on and how it's on the org and not the players. And then Riot had this to say. Today, the 5 players who won the 2023 Ascension Americans tournament for the guard were released from their team contracts. Because of that, Riot then met with the players and let them know that they're now free to pursue opportunities with an org or individually as free agents so that they are able to pursue their career as Valorant players and join the VCT. Great news by Riot. Handled pretty poorly, but I think this is going to be a real interesting thing to watch. I'm not sure who's going to sign them. I know Disguised Toast keeps making tweets. I'm not sure how deep his pockets are. Maybe that Among Us money was more than we all knew. But it'll be interesting. I really feel for the players. I'm glad that they're able to figure something out with Riot, and hopefully we can see them participate at the highest level. Top 5 this week include Halo and some League of Legends. So let's jump right into it.
Looking for more.
He's caught
Howling at the moon.
How the fuck has he hit that shot?
I don't know. He's veterinary.
Okay, there's a lot you can do with this whole hamper stock after all. Okay, I didn't realize it was that ridiculous. To be fair, completely justified your reaction, Mac. I didn't realize it was that egregious.
We're back in the hands of Native Red, in the hands of Suppress. Shroud going down, just gonna shoot on through there. Does not want to go out and trade melee or damage. What a sneaky little spot. And oh my god, sneaks around! Renegade and crew takes out that OS. That was devastating.
Had to be a little bit more risque and try and take that extra time. Stella, if he starts hitting shots like that, it could be very bad news for OpTic Gaming. Oh boy! Game on, series on.
Just in that last second, now all of a sudden, Broken Blade may need to use that flash. Dashes for now, gets stunned up by Alyoya. It's gone Bull chasing underneath the tower, and he does it once more! That was nasty from BB!
Because I think Krugs, I ward, I go to my top side again, just keep the power farming machine alive. And, oh, you were instant back, instant combo! What? It's big bomb! Oh my god! What? Oh, they're playing 10!
Everyone, thank you so much for joining me this week on Last Week in Esports. As I said earlier, this is the first episode of Season 2. This is the fall season. We'll be doing this for 3 months. We're going to try to make some changes, keep improving season over season. So please let me know any feedback you have. But without anything else to say, see you next week. GG's.